The razor-sharp katana slammed straight into Pickle's face, but couldn't move even a fraction of an inch further. Musashi was dumbfounded. He put everything he had into that swing, and Pickle had stopped it cold with nothing but his facial muscles. Before Musashi could even react, Pickle wound up and threw a devastating punch that launched him clear across the arena. He slammed into the railing and crashed to the ground while his prized blade stayed embedded in Pickle's face. Then, as everyone watched in disbelief, Pickle's tensed muscles slowly began to relax, and the sword dropped to the floor. The gash from the slash finally revealed itself in full. Musashi was out cold on the ground. Pickle picked up the fallen blade, curious how such a small thing could cut through skin harder than armor. He gently ran his finger along the edge and instantly got sliced open. That's when Pickle realized just how dangerous this weapon was. Enraged, he smashed the katana into the ground, only to split the floor wide open. Pickle stood there, holding the sword as Musashi started coming to. Seeing him awake, Pickle gripped the blade and slowly approached. But instead of fear, Musashi was actually excited. While he was unconscious, he'd been racking his brain if even a real sword couldn't break Pickle's defense. How was he supposed to fight this monster? But now that Pickle was holding the katana, Musashi wasn't worried anymore. Once Pickle committed to the weapon, he'd only attack with it. Pickle swung the katana down hard. Musashi countered instantly, slashing Pickle's eye with a knife hand strike. Pickle howled in pain, clutching his wounded eye. Musashi seized the moment, snatched his sword off the ground, and took his signature dual blade stance. In a flash, he carved multiple gashes across Pickle's body, all targeting the joints. No matter how rock-hard someone's muscles are, joints are always the weakest point. But what Musashi didn't expect was that strikes meant to sever the joints only left surface wounds. Pickle was bleeding everywhere, but Musashi held back from pressing his advantage. He wanted to cut Pickle clean in half, but those muscles were just too tough. Then an idea hit him. A way to turn steel-hard muscle into soft tofu. Musashi slowly raised both hands and invited Pickle to come eat him. Pickle froze, thrown off by the move. But even he could tell Musashi was taunting him. Furious, Pickle lunged forward, opened his massive jaws, and clamped down hard on Musashi's shoulder. And in that exact instant, Musashi drew his blade in one explosive motion, a devastating quick-draw slash that carved a massive wound into Pickle's shoulder. Blood erupted everywhere. Everyone in the arena was stunned. Pickle stared blankly at the spray of red filling the air. It looked like the fight was over, but Musashi hadn't come out clean either. Pickle had bitten off a huge chunk of flesh from his shoulder, a sight that made the crowd's stomachs turn. Yet Musashi casually asked Pickle if his meat tasted good. Watching Pickle chew so happily, Musashi almost regretted not going for the neck instead, but it didn't matter anymore. He shouted at Pickle that little piece of meat probably wasn't even enough to pick his teeth, right? Then he pointed at his own head and told Pickle to come take a bite of this one. Pickle couldn't understand the words, but the disrespect came through loud and clear. Done holding back, Pickle's body began to swell rapidly. Old scars from ancient dinosaur bites surfaced across his skin. This time, Pickle was truly angry.